Yes, people, it's a sweaty, exhausting one today. And speaking of which, we're going to get that exhaust fixed, along with a handbrake. So stay tuned. I'm Wayne, and this is Tings on Wheels. Let's get it.
On it again, let's get this handbrake cover straight off in an instant. Consistent graft will have this Z4 packing value that was non-existent. Yeah, yank that off. Next step, we put the handbrake down. And now if we look down, we can see this little cable attached. This is most likely a switch that shows the handbrake warning light on the dash, so we better be careful not to snag it. Anyway, it's off of one of the underside beams. As the exhaust routes round to the left, we only need to take this side off, I think. Axle stand showing support. Safety first and all that. That was quick. This cheeky little hidden nut got removed from my eyesight. No issues here. Quite a chunky bit of steel here, but it's out. Yet more bolts holding on another support structure underneath. I quite like this because it keeps everything rigid, eliminating chassis flex. Therefore, better handling. And it's looking a bit crusty under here, so we're going to get this tidied up before we put it back. It's all about the details. That's right. Onto the exhaust pipe clamps. These could be tricky, but not tricky for me. Let's go. And the other side. A little bit rusty. So let's spray some penetrating fluid to help it along. Look at that. No drama. Let's hope the rest will be the same. As you can see here on the left, there isn't even a clamp. But let's get the spray out on the one that remains. Here we go. What's the point, eh? Well, we got to replace the left one, so we can replace the right one at the same time. This hanger poses no threat. Get out of my face. Oof. And now we just got to wriggle this free. Easy does it. Yeah, just like that. More spray. We ain't playing. At least these ones didn't break. And that's one pipe off. And there's the other. Good progress. Onto the midsection. A few taps of the mallet. We'll see this out of the way, no problem. There we go. Some more bolts holding trim underneath. Standard procedures. Slide that right out of the way. Get out of it. Now these are the drive shaft bolts. At one end we got 4 of them, and the other there's 3. We got to get this out of the way so we can get access to the handbrake. And here's one of the bolts at a better angle you can see. And we travel down to the other end, and you can see the larger 3 bolts. So let's crack on. There's one. That's the second. Third one there. And we'll rotate the drive shaft just to get to the last one. Not a problem for me. And down at the front, access was pretty tight. And these bolts were super tight as well. But we got them undone. Thankfully, my hands are fairly small.
won't let me. Something in my brain wants you. I've been hanging on myself, asking for help, but nothing seems to.
As you can see here, I've put a marking on the drive shaft.
Yeah.
This is so when I put it back, everything's all in order and there won't be no imbalances. We don't want no vibrations when we're driving.
You're the reason I'm going out my mind. I just you always make me feel like
Just this little middle support to come off. Couple of bolts. Not a problem for a man like me. Was a bit of a faff holding the weight up whilst undoing the bolts. But we move. And that's out of the way. Lovely. So here it is. All that just to get to this. 6 little bolts. As you can imagine, lying on your back whilst doing this, mad cramps. A few curse words as well, but you don't need to hear that. And it's out. Now this is the route that the handbrake cable takes. Past the fuel tank, through the subframe, and out the other side where I chopped it. So let's pull it back through. Nice. So it's like a little ball and socket type affair holding the cable in. So once it's loose, you just pop it out. Done. Here's the end of the new cable. Reversal of removal. We'll push that in. It's in the mechanism now. And just move it to the side. Same with the other. Bit fiddly. And then there's a little retaining clip that stops them moving and coming out of place. Sorted. Now we just got to feed the other end of the cable back through the subframe and out to the back of the brake disc. So the handbrake mechanism goes back up, making sure the gasket's in place. Took a few goes. But you don't want to get this wrong as you leave the car open to the elements. And we don't want the elements inside the car. Drive shaft. Get up there. Maneuver that back into place. Switch up. Rear end getting done up. You can see how much space there was between me and the car. Not a lot. Back with the other end. As you can see, my red markings lined up again. Let's snip them all up. This took quite a while. I did torque these up. Not caught on camera, because the camera got in the way of the wrench. But I can assure you it was done. Back on with the support. Things are coming together nicely. Just making sure everything is tight. Doesn't cause any harm to check. You can see the end of the handbrake cable here. I just need to hook the mechanism on. And this will connect to the pads. In turn, the pads will make contact with the disc when the handbrake is engaged. Just making sure everything's seated correctly. And here are the pads. Clips back into place and then a retaining spring to hold it all together. Those little clips you saw in a previous video where you turn 90 degrees. And the second one. And there's the whole assembly complete. Handbrake, pads, little clips, and that's the adjuster, just out of shot at the top. Back on with the disc, caliper carrier, caliper. All hoses and clips, brake pipes, and the wheel arch lining. Oh, wait there. Right, Mrs. ain't gonna be happy with me on this one, but it's too wet outside. There is no room in the shed, so it comes to the kitchen. Let's get it cracking. So as you can see, the mudguard is split in two from the accident. We're gonna join it back together. Got this hot staple gun from Amazon, nothing too bougie. You put these little staples in, pull the trigger, it heats up and melts through the plastic. It's that simple. There's different types of ends, but I've chosen this one as it gives the most contact. And the idea is to stitch across. We've also got this attachment for afterwards, just to smooth everything out. But let's go. Bit of sellotape just to hold the two together. And here goes the first one. Don't worry, the room was well ventilated when I was doing this. Just got to be patient here. You kind of have to wait for each one to dry a bit before pulling the tool out. Otherwise the staple just comes straight back out. But as you can see, I got the knack of it now. And we're making mad good progress. Look at that. They even give you cutters to trim up all the tails. So we chop them out. Taking the time here to make sure every part of it is stitched up. We don't want the cracks reforming. Now we're going to smoothen the join. Don't apply too much pressure, otherwise you might burn right through it. Using the other attachment, we smooth it out. They also supply you with sticks of ABS plastic. Same material as the mudguard itself. And it's time to refit it. I put a bead of sealant across the top, just in case there are any remaining sharp edges. There wasn't, but I thought I'd do it just in case. Clipping it all back in. Jobs are good. Now we nearly forgot about the exhaust, didn't we? So back on with the trim. And back on with the cramp again. Bit of exhaust assembly paste, just to make sure there's no leaks. You can accelerate the drying process of that by starting the engine. So that's the first section back on. And we nip up the clips. Not too tight. You kind of get a feeling for when it's too tight and it'll start crushing the pipe. And on the next section again, more paste. Wipe away the excess. Same on the other side. And my security rolls out. Her name's Zosha, sister of Xena. Anyway, she gone now. Nip up the clips. Now another cheeky one. I nipped out some of this pink stuff from under the sink. I'm gonna give it a go, try and shine up the exhaust. Don't tell the missus. The abrasive qualities, pull off all the dirt and leave it spanking. So with more assembly paste, we can get this back box back on. Clip the hanger back in. Tighten up the front portion. And then tighten up the back box. Remember, not too tight. You don't want to crush the pipe. So here I've used the boroscope to look deep into the hub. You can see the adjuster mechanism. We need to wind the cog part in or out, and this will push the pads in or out against the disc. Too much and the brake will still be engaged when the handbrake is released. Too little and the handbrake won't be effective when applied. So we use a screwdriver through one of the lug nut holes to adjust. 4 clicks. No movement. Spot on.
I'm going to wrap this one up there, guys. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe. It helps massively. So I'm going to keep saying it. Mind how you go. And until next time, bless up.